Uh, I guess kind of like Minecraft. You sleep in the tent. I mean, it doesn't show you sleeping in the tent. Like the tent just pops up when you get to a certain spot. But like in my head, it's like Minecraft, and you sleep and you put down a bed, and then when you die, you go back to your tent because that's where your bed is. I just am a Minecraft fan. Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Joycelyn, your player one, and I hope you had a great holiday season. Today, Indie House, we've got Fork Parker's Holiday Profit Hike by Dodge Roll. It is a platformer action game. It's mostly platformer from what I can see. And the premise is against explosive firepower, bitter cold, and dizzying heights, Fork Parker must outwit a group of no-talent game developers in a deadly holiday promotional game. And there's no content warnings. The game is free, which is great, and it's available on Steam for Windows and Mac. And like I said before, some games that are available on Mac, if your Mac is too updated, you can't play it on a Mac, and you have to play it on Windows. Like for me, I played this game on Windows. I didn't do what I did for Everybody Wham Wham. I didn't try and play it on my Mac. I just played it on Windows. I am at home now, so I was able to just play it on my PC. And I didn't really have any issues with that. The game, I played it for 30 minutes. I'm sure that you can play it for longer because I did not finish the game. There's a timer in this game, but I restarted it multiple times for a reason that I will get into in a minute. The game was hard for me because if you don't already know, do not like platformers, and I kind of suck at hand-eye coordination, so I didn't really enjoy it. But I think that it is a nice platformer, and I think that if you like platformers, then you'll like this game. The controls were alright for keyboard. They were kind of awkward because you had to use your arrow keys and then X and C and space. So I kind of felt like I was spread thin. But that's alright, I guess. The game suggests that you use a controller at the very beginning of it. So I closed out of the game, went and got my controller, got back to my computer, connected my controller, got back in the game, and then the controller didn't work. I was using my controller to get back into the game, and then as soon as the game loaded up, the controller did nothing, and it wasn't connected to the game. I don't know if that's a me problem, or if that was the game, because on Steam, when I was connecting my controller, it said that the game didn't, it wasn't compatible with the controller, even though in the game itself, it said it recommended to use a controller, which was very strange to me. I don't know if that was a me problem or not, but it kind of made the game harder to play because the controller controls were much easier than the keyboard controls, and I'm already bad at platformer games. So when I play a platformer on my PS4 or on an Xbox or something, I'm better at them because the controls are easier for me to get the hang of. But I wasn't able to connect to my controller, even though the game itself said to connect the controller. So I don't know about that. I really wish I could have done that because the game looked cool. It's not like a normal platformer. You're not just jumping around. between like blocks or anything. Like you're climbing up a mountain, and you can also use like rope things to slide up and down stuff. Like you can connect it from place to place and like do all that stuff. But it doesn't really work that well when you're using the keyboard controls, because to like aim your ropes and stuff, you have to use your arrow keys, but your arrow keys are also used to move. So like you have to like aim without moving, which is impossible. So it kind of sucks. I don't know if it's the same with the controller. I just assume it wouldn't be, or it would be easier to aim with a controller than with the arrow keys, because with the arrow keys you can't really put pressure on them to like move less, and with a controller you can definitely do that. But yeah, I also couldn't figure out how to change the keyboard keybinds, like so that it was WASD instead. I could have changed to, I don't know, maybe X and C could have been N and M, and I could have used space and WASD, and that might have been easier for me, because you're supposed to use left shift to run, but I never ran because all of my hands were full. Like my left hand was full. I couldn't really do left shift with the way my hands were, which kind of sucked. Like I don't know. I think the controls were just so I don't want to say bad, but they were bad. The controls were so bad that I wasn't able to actually play the game. And then when I did try to change it, it didn't work. I really thought the animations were very cute. I love Fork. Fork is so cute. Fork does animation, like he does little faces when you miss a jump, or if you I don't, like if you do hit the jump, like he does a little face, and it's really cute. I thought the check marks, like the checkpoints, were very cute. They were little tents on the mountain. You got a little tent, and then I guess kind of like Minecraft, you sleep in the tent. I mean, it doesn't show you sleeping in the tent. Like the tent just pops up when you get to a certain spot, but like in my head, it's like Minecraft, and you sleep and you put down a bed, and then when you die, you go back to your tent because that's where your bed is. I just am a Minecraft fan. I guess the music wasn't really noticeable. I don't even remember there being music, honestly. Like, I kind of forgot completely about the music. I think that maybe if I wasn't having so many problems with the controls and just being frustrated with the game overall, maybe, I don't even know if there is music in this game, but maybe I would know, and I would have something more to say about the music. I think the story is very funny. I think it's cool. I also like that it's set during the holidays, but this game is about like capitalism and making money. So like Fork has to go out on this hike to make money because his sales are low. And like I don't know how that makes any sense really, because like shouldn't he just try and get more sales? Like he's leaving the office to go on a hike when his sales are low, so he's not going to be selling anything. But there's like money on this hike that he goes on. It's very weird. But like you lose money when you die. So like I was like negative like $240,000 or something because I died so many times. And it's like I feel like it would be more profitable to just stay in the office and not go on the hike, because you're losing money every time you die on the hike. Unless at the very end it gives you a whole bunch of money, I don't think this hike is worth it. But I mean, I didn't get very far in the game, obviously, because I suck at platformers. But I think it was pretty cute. It's very funny. The story is cool. I kind of wish I knew more. I kind of wish there was more story in the beginning. But that's alright. My favorite part of the game, probably Fork and his little face animation. Like, cause you can miss a jump and you can hit a jump, but you can also like slide down with your little pick. So like if you almost hit a jump, he slides down it slowly, so you can like jump away if you're gonna die or something. And I think that's really cute. All of his animations are really, really cute. My least favorite part is obviously the controls and like my issues with my controller. I'm not sure what was up with that. I don't know if it was me. I don't know if it was the game. But I know the controls, like the keyboard keybind controls, that was an issue, and I don't know how to change that. So I'm gonna blame the game. Sorry. But yeah. I do recommend this game though, despite all of the issues I had. I know a lot of people love platformers. I'm just not one of them. But I think if you like platformer games, you'll love it. I don't know if there's any levels to the game, but I do think that like the beginning of the game is too hard. Like I think it should be a little bit easier than that. Like I don't know. I've played like what's another like Mario, I guess. I guess that's yeah, that's definitely a platformer. Like I've played those games and they're not as hard. I just suck at them, but they're not as hard. I think the beginning was just too hard, and also I think there should be more introduction for the rope system, because I didn't really know how to use it, so I kind of just got stuck. And then I realized that I had controls that I could use, and I was like playing around with it, but it kept making me die because I didn't know how to use it. So yeah, I think maybe there should be more explanation for that. But other than that, like, I think this game is really fun. It's cool, I guess. If you don't rage quit often, I think it'll be fun for you. I'm a rage quitter, so I didn't really get that far. Like, once a game has upset me, I pretty much am done with it. But I think that this game could be very fun. And I guess my final rating for Fork Parker's Holiday Profit Hike by Dodge Roll is a 7 out of 10 tokens. Great job. And also, a special announcement. I will be taking a 1-week break for the holidays. The next episode of the Indie House podcast will come out on January the 14th. And it is a highly anticipated episode. It's highly anticipated by me specifically, but it's a great episode. I believe that it is one of the best, possibly. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the games that I've looked forward to for, well, not that long at this point, but I'm looking forward to the episode. I think it is going to be great. And also, I guess this episode comes out on New Year's Eve. So Happy New Year. Yeah. This is the last episode of the year, and it comes out on the last day of the year. It's pretty cool. So thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Indie House, and thanks for joining me this year. I didn't post the Spotify Wrapped stats, but they were pretty good, honestly. For how long this podcast has been going on, it was pretty interesting. I am so thankful for all of you for listening to the podcast. Thank you. Be sure to rate the episode and let me know your thoughts. I've got a Discord server called Indie House Official, which will be a great place to give your feedback and talk to me, my collaborators, or other listeners of the show. And if you have any indie game suggestions, feel free to comment below or hit me up at indiehouse_pod on Twitter or Instagram using the hashtag IndieHouseGaming. And if you would like to support the podcast and get some cool extra content. You can find the Patreon in the card. Check us out next week. Not next week, the week after next week, on the 14th, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also just go back and listen to old episodes. So, I mean, you can check us out anytime. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. I've never used Google Podcasts, but I'm sure there's like some kind of follow button or subscription button or something so that you get notifications whenever we post episodes. I post episodes. Sometimes we have friends. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next level next year. Bye.